Hello cousins, I just finished up doing my Christmas shopping finally, and so I figured I'd get on here so we could do a little banter or whatever. Welcome to my first video on YouTube, yay! But first, let's put this jacket away. Then we can get to the tea, cousins. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. I have some natural light going, so you know what? I'm trying to film it before the sun goes down. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support me on this platform, on TikTok, on Instagram. You can follow me at Legally Priscilla. Yeah. So for today's video, I decided to focus on some questions. They're not really frequently asked questions, so hopefully if you come across this video, there's answers in here that you have not heard before. So let's start off easy. What was the hardest thing about law school? I think I'm an anomaly when it comes to law school. I took classes that were really interesting to me, that I actually liked. And the reason I did that is because when I would intern over the summer at big law firms, they told me, take classes that you love and do well. We will teach you everything you need to know when you got here. And so I took that advice very seriously. That being said, it's hard for me to answer that question because I didn't really find law school to be that hard, academically speaking. The difficult part of law school was actually not the academics, it was the social aspect. Everybody came in with friends already, right? And I was a transfer law student. And so I didn't really have a group of friends, and it just felt to me like everyone was already clicked up. And there was some mean girl behavior that happened behind the scenes. One thing in particular was that I was invited on a trip, and then the group went ahead and booked the trip without me and like totally played it off like they had never told me about the trip. And that was one of the mean girl instances that I experienced in law school. Lucky for me, I clocked it and I kept it pushing, but it's something that I, couldn't even believe that at 20 something, I was in my late 20s at that point, I think I was like 28 or 29, that I had to still deal with high school bullshit. But, there goes that. I graduated from Georgetown Law with honors, and now I've been practicing law for almost 4 years. I get a new wig anytime I feel like switching up my hair. So this wig in particular, I'll get like a new frontal piece put on it, but I'll actually keep the rest of it because it's still very thick and luscious. So in this case, with this wig, I haven't gotten a new wig in about a year. It's just very, very excellent quality hair. But let's say I want to change up my style and I want to do something like, I don't know, some sort of highlights or something like that. I'll buy a wig from Tinashe Hair and I'll have that installed. Those usually last me like a good 3 months, 4 months. Of course, I miss doing It's the Mystery for Me. That was a true crime podcast that I hosted alongside my sister Norma. It's still up on all podcast platforms. And the reason that we stopped doing it is because Norma is stepping into her career as a lawyer, and I am working in an area of the law that has a lot of triggers. It has a lot of emotional baggage to it. And so I didn't feel that it was fair to me or the audience for me to do basically 2 traumatic things every single week. I only got about 1 trauma a week in me to handle, So for that reason, we discontinued the podcast. But there is a missing episode. I did promise to do one last episode, so just, you know what? I'm not gonna say when it's coming, but we are working on it. That's what you need to know. We're working on it, okay? Staying on that same wavelength, I have to say I am loving my transition from big law to nonprofit work. For those who don't know, I work specifically with victims of domestic violence. I myself am a survivor of domestic violence. This is a cause that is very near and dear to my heart, and leaving big law meant that I was going to leave big money behind, but I gained a lot when it came to my personal time. I gained a lot when it came to tackling my personal morals. I didn't feel right just being a lawyer in big law for like many, many years and not giving back to my community. And so I feel that this is the right decision, even though it meant I was gonna take a pay cut, so be it. I remember when I left big law, I prayed about it a lot, okay? And I remember saying specifically, I'm going to leave this job and I'm going to leave this money behind, but it's because you have something much greater for me in store. I'm going to touch this same money or more very soon. And it's going to be something that is continuous, and it's going to be something where I can work smarter, not harder. Now let's talk dating in your 30s and how to go about it. Listen, dating in general is already hard out here, okay? When I went into the whole online dating thing this round that I met my current boyfriend in, I just decided to be very purposeful with how I approached it. I made it clear on my bio, on my profile, that I was looking for something serious. I was looking for something that had the potential to lead to marriage. That I wasn't looking for mind games. Like, I don't like Nintendo. I don't like none of that. So it's like, miss me with that kind of stuff. But I was very serious about how I went into it. And anyone who approached me, you know, they almost immediately brought that up. And so I was bringing in candidates that were looking for the same thing. So it's just very, very important to be on the same page of the same book when it comes to things you want in a relationship. Of course, one day you guys will see my man's face. I'm not gonna keep him hidden forever. I totally respect people that do actually do that, but I'm somebody who likes to share my life online, and so it just wouldn't feel authentic to me if I didn't eventually share his face. And he has a nice face too, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to share it with my cousins. Not too much, you know what I'm saying? Not too much. Just a little bit, because he also didn't sign up to be on camera 24/7, which is totally fine. This is Priscilla's show. He's just a supporting character. I'm the main character of this story. Now let's turn it back to me. People were asking me if there's a favorite credit card I have for traveling and the perks it has. And for me, I think my favorite one is the American Express Platinum card. My favorite perk from that card is the late checkout. You know, like the guaranteed 4 p.m. checkout, because who wants to check out of a hotel room at 11 a.m.? Not me. You know what I'm saying? On the last day, I like to just lay out by the pool for a little bit, capture any like last minute content, and I don't want to be rushed. So that's one of my favorite perks. My other favorite perk is that it typically comes with like $100 resort credit at a particular resort you stay at. So it's like free money on top of that. And who doesn't love free money? You know what I'm saying? Even Big P loves free money, okay? When it comes to savings, I did a pretty good job at putting away money when I was working in Big Law. I did that because I knew there would be a time where I would transition from Big Law. From the beginning, I never saw myself becoming a partner in Big Law, becoming like a senior associate in Big Law. Mid-level associate I knew was possible, and so I reached that level. But I just didn't see myself continuing in Big Law because I just didn't feel connected to the material, okay? So I did save my money. It's sitting in an account and accruing interest right now. And luckily, I haven't actually touched it in a while. It's just kind of just sitting there, and I'm happy about that. I'm trying to basically live on the salary that I make from nonprofit, which is pretty tight. But it's also such a relief to know that there is money in a bank account with my name on it if I need it. So I sleep very, very peacefully at night, and I'm just glad that I had, you know, the forethought to even put money away. And the last question is, what's on your Christmas list? So I did make a previous video about the items on my Christmas list, but upon reflection, okay, my Christmas list is more of a suggestions list. It's not like you need to buy me these things, it's more so as guidance, okay? And I just want a gift or gifts, plural, where it is evident that that person, in this case, my adorable boyfriend, that he put thought into whatever he got me, that he not only did that, but also thought about my love language. Because I think a lot of people will think about gifts in their own love language, and me and him don't have the same love language. But definitely acts of service and receiving gifts are like top 2, and physical, I mean, all of it, I love them all. Okay, I am really into receiving gifts, like little things. It could be like you brought me flowers. It could be you brought my favorite candy from the store. But when we're talking about Christmas, it's kind of like, I expect for you to step correctly. You know what I'm saying? And I know my man's gonna step correctly, period. So There's that. That wraps up all the questions. As far as what I have planned for this YouTube page, I'm looking to do a few vlogs. Hopefully I do one on a weekly basis. I won't say it's starting next week. Y'all gotta give me some time to get acclimated with YouTube. So I just also need time to brainstorm on what I want this page to be. So that being said, in the interim, you can check me out on TikTok or Instagram under Legally Priscilla. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, a beautiful and safe week ahead. And I'll talk to you guys soon for some more banter. Bye, beautiful cousins.